Good evening, everybody. Before I start the session, just a quick check. Am I audible and visible to those who are on Zoom and those who are on YouTube Live? If I could have just quick confirmation through the chat. Great. So once again, good evening, everyone. My name is Satyanarayan. I'm one of the co-founders and the academic head at IQ Ideas. Since 2nd of March, we've been doing a series of videos online where we have been talking about various things related to education and career. We talked about how to choose the right stream after standard 10th, that is how to go about selecting between science, arts and humanities and commerce. We talked about how to select the career opportunities after standard 12th, what are the various new age careers possible. We talked about streams specific to science, streams specific to commerce, streams specific to arts and humanities. And then we started with specific careers which are open to all fields, which included liberal studies and law. Today, we are going to talk about business management and things related to that. The speaker for today is Mr. MOHIT Mangal. So it gives me great honor and pleasure to welcome a long-term friend and colleague. We have been associated for over a decade and a half now. By education, he's an engineer and an MBA, and he has been in the field of counseling students and providing them the right path towards achieving the right career for close to 2 decades now. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Mangal. Good evening, sir, and I hope all the participants have a fruitful time with their time with us.
Thank you so much, Satya sir. As always, it's a pleasure to get introduction from you. Today, the session which we are conducting is the 9th session in the series, where we are going to talk all about business management education in India. This is a series which we started from 2nd of March and will continue till 14th of March. The session objective as to what we are going to talk about today would include, firstly, what is business management? I will talk to you about the specializations which are available in courses related to business management. Then there will be a set of loads of career opportunities which children can pursue after finishing business management program, maybe at bachelor's or further at master's level. We will talk about the best institutions along with their admission processes, eligibility criteria. And then I will again invite Satya sir to talk to you all about entrance exams. He will give you details of various entrance exams pan-India, followed by the question answer round, with which we will end the session of the day. This session is suitable for parents and children who are studying class 11th and 12th, be it science, commerce, or arts. Because when we talk about pure management or business management program, it is by and large or largely open to children coming from any stream. So, to understand what is business management refers to coordination and administration of business activities or business tasks and coordination of resources to achieve a particular set objective, whatever is the objective of that business. That business could be dealing in consultation, could be a service related industry, could be a production house, could be a trading house. Broadly, you are looking at supervision of staff, training of staff, looking at the core operations systems of the particular flow of business, and designing company infrastructure to optimize the requirement for the future. Looking at the specializations which are available in business management, broadly, there were 4 specializations where we used to talk about marketing, finance, human source management, and systems and operations management. But then there was introduction, or a very strong introduction, of information technology. So information technology came as another specialization within the domain of business management. Then there are allied areas like logistics, international business, advertising, public relations, and so on. So if I look at the career opportunities, one of the most generic branch, which a kid who is relatively more practical and people orientation combination is the type of kid who is rightly fit to get into a course like business management. Well, if you want to know what I'm talking about the orientation. And if you have not gone through the session of how to choose the right career after 10th or how to choose the right stream after 12th, I have in detail talked about the orientation of how to understand the child's orientation. I am talking about orientation where a candidate who is a beautiful mixture of academic people and practical orientation is a candidate who is the right candidate to get into business management program. So you can go and watch that video to make this particular point more clear. But looking at the career opportunities, one can get into agribusiness management, which is related to agriculture, accounting and financial management, which is related to finance. One can get into aviation management, which is another big thing. Or even at national level, if you look at aviation, is getting a lot of boost. Branding and entrepreneurship. You can look at business analytics, data analytics. Decision science is a very strong part, which is of business management. Digital business. Lots of companies are moving from physical setup to more of digital presence. Computer aided management, e-commerce. You can look at environment management, event management, family business management. Could be specializing or looking for career purely in financial management or financial accounting. One can get into foreign trade. Then you have healthcare management, hospitality management, human source management, import-export management, information technology management. As I introduced that as a even specialization, it has become part of business management as a vertical. You can look at international business, logistics management, artificial intelligence management and artificial intelligence, marketing management, media and communication management, where you talk about corporate communication or industrial communication. Then we have operations management, operations research and statistics. There are areas like real estate management or urban infrastructure management. Then you have retail management, sports management, supply chain management, or travel and tourism management. These are all different domains in which a graduate from a business management background can exercise his or her skill depending upon what kind of interest industry attracts or suits a particular candidate or suits the liking of the candidate. If you look at business management, these are few different kinds of degrees which are available in business management. One can go for a 3-year or a 4-year BBA or a BBA honors. Few states have same BBA honors with a different nomenclature. That nomenclature could be Bachelor of Management Studies or Bachelor of Business Studies. Also, there is a newly introduced IMBA degree, which is a 4-year program after 12th, where again, any 10+2 student can get it. And finally, we have a bachelor plus master combination, that is a BBA plus an MBA, which is a 5-year degree program after grade 12. Now, largely, as I said, kids or students coming from any stream, be it science, commerce, arts, can join business management program. But few colleges who choose to make their course curriculum strongly analytical might require the candidate to have studied either mathematics or statistics or business mathematics as a compulsory subject in grade 11 and 12. Looking at the entrance exams, broadly, I will bifurcate entrance exams in 2 different domains. Satya sir will be talking to you more in detail about the entrance exams. But 2 different domains could be, one is a domain where a kid after giving an entrance exam after 12 get into a 5-year integrated BBA plus MBA program. And the second set of exams are exams where a child gets into a 3-year bachelor's or a 4-year bachelor's business management program. So the first exam, that is IPM-80, that is Integrated Program of Management Aptitude Test, is a test which is conducted by IIM Indore. And this test is also accepted for its admissions by IIM Ranchi. There's another test known as IPMAT, which is conducted by IIM Rohtak. Then there is a different exam known as Joint Integrated Program in Management Aptitude Test, which is basically conducted by the National Testing Agency, which is the same agency which conducts NEET, JEE, or CUET. This exam caters primarily to IIM Jammu and IIM Bodh Gaya. Then these are the three exams which we generally recommend for 5-year program. Also, there are other exams like NPAT, which is for Narsee Monjee Bombay, SET, which is for Symbiosis Pune, Manipal MET. Then you have the Common University Entrance Test undergraduate, which has been started by NTA, National Testing Agency, from last year. This also caters to loads of universities. There are approximately, at present, 76 universities clubbed under CUET, which take majority of their undergraduate admissions through this particular test. Then there's another test with the same nomenclature, that is CUET, but it is Christ University Entrance Test. Then you have St. Xavier's in Bombay, which conducts its own online test. Bharatiya Vidyapeeth has its own test. Jamia Millia Islamia has its own test. Kalinga University, Bhubaneswar, takes its own test, and so on. This list goes on long. Now, if you are wanting to have in detail understanding of this entire thing and also know which are the other entrance processes or tests available at national level by various universities, you can go to my website, that is mohitmangal.com, and pick up the book related to business management, in which I have talked in length only about business management. To get to understand more about the tests or the structure of the tests, I'll be inviting Mr. Satyanarayan in a due course. But to give you a snapshot of some of the best colleges in the country, for 5-year BBA plus MBA program, I have put up all 5 IIMs in the top ranking. That is IIM Indore, IIM Rohtak, IIM Ranchi, IIM Jammu, and IIM Bodh Gaya. Beyond that, Nirma University is there in Ahmedabad. For this university, again, it accepts the same IPMAT exam, which is conducted by IIM Indore. Nalsar University is there in Hyderabad, again, which takes the score from IIM Indore IPMAT exam. Then Narsee Monjee Bombay has got, a 5-year integrated program, which is having admissions based on 12th marks. Manipal University again accepts IPMAT. And then there is another university in Ahmedabad known as Ahmedabad University, which asks the child to write a statement of purpose followed by a personal interview. These are the processes for admission in 5-year top colleges in the country. Looking at the names and the processes for getting into some 3 or a 4-year BBA programs, Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies, Delhi, is one of the best places to do a 3-year BBA program. The admission is through the Common University Entrance Test undergraduate program. Then you have Christ University, Bangalore, through CUET, Narsee Monjee Bombay through NPAT, Manipal University, Manipal through another exam, MET. St. Xavier's, Bombay has its own exam. Jamia Millia has its own exam. Then there are a few colleges which take students based on 12th marks, including Banasli University in Jaipur, Madras Christian College, Chennai, Mount Carmel College in Bangalore, and Loyola College in Chennai. Now, I would like to invite Mr. N. Satyanarayan, but before I ask him to take up the session, to quickly introduce Mr. Satya is a computer engineer and has done his MBA from the prestigious Department of Management Studies, IIT Madras. He's a 4 times UGAT 99.9 percentile or a UGAT cracker. He's 5 times CLAT cracker. He's an academic head at IQ Ideas. And he's one of those rare faculties in the country which I have seen, met, interacted who is an all-rounder. So you talk to Satya sir about maths, English, reasoning, strategy, legal, general knowledge, current affairs. He's master of all. He also holds national level recognition by the CENTA, organization, which gives awards to teachers who teach various levels across board. So over to you, Satya sir, if you can explain the students details about various different entrance exams and also give them a snapshot of what kind of questions they can expect in the particular exams which they'll be appearing after 12th for getting into a 3-year or a 5-year integrated BBMBA program. Over to you, sir.
Thanks for that wonderful introduction. It's always a pleasure to co-host a session with Mohit. Mohit sir has already given you the basics of a lot of different entrance examinations for the 3-year BBA or the 5-year integrated management courses. To specifically talk about some of these examinations, we talk about the so-called toughest examinations of all, which would be the Integrated Program Management Aptitude Test, the IPMAT, conducted by IIM Indore. Now, the IPMAT conducted by IIM Indore is, of course, applicable to IIM Indore, Ranchi, Nirma, and a lot of other institutions. The paper consists of 100 questions, which is spread across 90 minutes. But each section actually has its own specified time. But so it's not that you can distribute the time according to your own will. That particular section will be provided to you, and you will have to solve that. And you can only move on to the next section after the time allotted for that section is up. So it is basically divided into mathematics and English, where mathematics has weightage of almost 60%. 30% of the questions will be of multiple choice, and 30% of questions will be short answer questions where there will be a question but no options, and you have to type in the answer. However, the positive point is the short answer questions, which are not of multiple choice question format, do not carry a negative marking. So for quantitative ability, multiple choice questions, weightage 30%, you have 1/4 negative marking. For the verbal ability, that is English-based questions, multiple choice, you have 40% weightage with 1/4 negative marking. And for maths, you again have short answer questions worth about 30%, but there is no negative marking in this particular section. So overall 100 questions, 90 minutes with 1/4 of negative marking. Now, moving on to the other examinations, IIM Rohtak conducts its own entrance examination called, again, the IPMAT. This is a 120 questions examination spread across 2 hours, 120 minutes with 1/4 negative marking. And the paper is divided into 3 equal sections. So you have 1/3 of the paper for maths or quantitative ability, 1/3 of the paper for logical reasoning, and 1/3 of the paper for verbal ability. So the major difference between IPMAT for IIM Indore is that it has only math and English, whereas Rohtak also includes the logical reasoning section, and the level of mathematics of the IPMAT conducted by IIM Rohtak is considered to be much more simpler than IIM Indore. In fact, the IIM Indore paper and Narsi Monji are the only 2 papers where mathematics is considered to be tough by the students, right? I'll show you how tough they are, and actually it's not that. But still, the other examinations have a relatively very simple mathematics section. Moving on to the next one, we have the JIPMAT, which is again the joint entrance examination conducted by the National Testing Agency for Bodh Gaya, IIM Bodh Gaya, and Ranchi, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, again, the section is 1/3 for mathematics, 1/3 for data interpretation and logical reasoning, and 1/3 for verbal ability and reading comprehension combined. This is again 100 questions, but you get 150 minutes, that is 2.5 hours with 1/4 negative marking. And the JIPMAT is considered to be a relatively very easy paper as compared to the IPMAT conducted by IIM Indore. But I would not consider it, I would advise students not to take it too lightly, because the number of students appearing for the examination vis-a-vis the number of seats makes it an examination where you have to score a lot. Moving ahead to the next one. Like I mentioned before, IPMAT by IIM Indore and Narsi Monji are considered to be 2 tough papers because of the relative complexity of the mathematics section. The NPAT has 1/3 weightage to quantitative aptitude or maths, 1/3 to, again, data interpretation and logical reasoning, and 1/3 to verbal ability and reading comprehension. So 100 questions spread across 150 minutes, that is 2.5 hours with 1/4 negative marking. Now, the Central University or the Common Universities Entrance Test, the UG one conducted by the National Testing Agency for a lot of institutions, has obviously sections where section 1A, you have to choose one of the 13 languages, and section 1B, one of the 20 languages other than what you have chosen in the previous one. Section 2 could be selecting a maximum of 6 out of the 27 specified domain-specific subjects. So whichever university you are applying for, I would very strongly recommend go to the official website of that particular university and find out what is their exact requirement in this particular thing. Section 3 is what I'm going to focus on, which is the general aptitude test, which again consists questions of basic math, English, reasoning, and GK, where you have 100 questions for 2.5 hours, that is 150 minutes, with a relatively easier, only 1/5 of negative marking. Now, I'm going to give you a sample of a few mathematics questions and an idea of what to expect in English. And I've purposely taken these questions from IPMAT of IIM Indore, supposedly the toughest examination. The question on the screen says, when Geeta increases her speed from 12 kmph to 20 kmph, she takes 1 hour less than the usual time to cover the distance between her home and office. And the distance between her home and office is how many kilometers? Now, this question might seem complex to somebody who's not very comfortable with the concepts of time, speed, and distance. However, if you know the concepts of time, speed, and distance, or even if you logically understand that speed is nothing but distance divided by time, then you should be able to work out that distance is nothing but the product of speed multiplied by time. And in this case, she's traveling the same distance in both the cases. So speed 1 multiplied by time 1 is equal to speed 2 multiplied by time 2. You have got speed 1 as 12 kmph, speed 2 as 20 kmph. So if the usual time is t, 1 hour less than the usual time would be t minus 1. So because both the distances are same, 12 into t is equal to 20 into t minus 1. That's it. Solve it, you get the value of t. The question, however, asks the distance between the two places. So once you've got the value of t, speed multiplied by time gives you the distance. The answer is 30. So if your fundamentals about the relationship between speed, distance, and time are in place, believe me, not more than 30 seconds to crack this question when you actually have more than a minute available to you. Let's take a look at one more question, and very interesting. This one says, the sum of the coefficients of all the terms in the expansion of 5x minus 9 raised to the power 4 is what? A plus b raised to power 1 is a plus b. A plus b square, a square plus 2ab plus b square. A plus b the whole cube, a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. A plus b the whole raised to 4. I can give you the formula, but it takes a lot of time to solve. And who has the time to expand this entire thing? Believe me, this is not more than a 10-second question. It says the sum of the coefficients of all the terms in the expansion of this term is what? X is a variable. You could have assumed X to be anything. Let's assume the value of X to be 1. So 5 times 1, 5 minus 1 is minus 4. Minus 4 raised to the power 4. 4 square, 16. 16 16s are 256. That's it. Just assume the value of X to be 1 and you already get the answer. So no need to expand the entire term. If you understood this basic fundamental of how identities work, it would not have taken you more than 10 to 15 seconds to crack this question. 5x minus 1 raised to 4, sum of all coefficients, 256. Done. Now, if the 5-digit number ABCDE is divisible by 6, then which of the following numbers is not necessarily divisible by 6? ADCBA, EEE, BBA, DCA, ECD? Oh, complex. This is definitely going to take me more than 10 minutes to crack. No, my dear friend, all this requires is you to understand the basics of divisibility rules. If a number is divisible by 6, that means it has to be divisible by 2, which means the number has to be an even number. And it has to be divisible by 3, which means the sum of all the digits must be divisible by 3. Okay. So if A, B, C, D, E is divisible by 6, I know for sure that E is an even number. Okay. So if E is an even number, then option 2, E, is an even number with the same number repeated thrice, definitely divisible by 2 and 3. So definitely divisible by 6. Now, if A, B, C, D, E is divisible by 3, then any odd jumble of these letters ending in E will also be divisible by 3 because even number ending with E and sum is the same as A, B, C, D, E. So C, D, B, E, A, option 4 is also divisible by 6. Look at option 3. It ends in E, so definitely an even number. And if A plus B plus C plus D plus E is divisible by 3, then BB, AD, CA, CE, DE. It's 2 times A, 2 times B, 2 times C, 2 times 3, 2 times D. That means that is also divisible by 3. So 2, 3, and 4 are all divisible by 3 for sure. So EDCBA, although divisible by 3, we do not know whether A is odd or even. So EDCBA may not be divisible by 6. That's it. Logical thinking is all you require to solve this question. And if you are very strong with your fundamentals of divisibility rules, believe me, 30 seconds is all it would have taken to crack this particular question. Okay, now it's easy to solve questions when it is basic arithmetic. But what about concepts like functions and other things? Let's take a look at this question. A set of all possible values of the function f of x is x divided by modulus x, where x is not equals to 0 takes us. It might take you some time to understand this question, but all it is asking is from the given options, which ones are the possible values of this function? So whatever value is given, I substitute for x, substitute for modulus x, which basically means positive value of x, and find what is possible. If I put 0 as the value of x, I cannot have it in the denominator because it is given x is not equal to 0. So if the value of x cannot be 0, how is option 3 and 4 possible? So outright, within the first 5 seconds, I've eliminated 2 out of the 3. Now, from 1 and 2, both the options have 1, so I need not worry about that. The option -1, so -1 divided by modulus of -1 is -1 divided by 1, which is -1, technically possible. So even -1 can be the value of x. So option 2 is my answer. That's it. Although it looks complicated as a question of functions, it is not. Absolutely simple and straightforward question here. Now, moving on to questions from English. Here is the passage, which is a reading comprehension passage from one of the recent versions of IPMAT conducted by AM Indore. I'm not going to ask you to read the entire passage. It is something related to some fruits and propagation of these plants and stuff like that, right? This is the size of the passage. Now, I'm not going to ask you to read it. I'm going to move ahead to the questions. If you take a look at the first question, it simply asks, what is the main point that the writer makes? Now, because you have not read the passage, I'm not expecting you to answer this question, but understand the type of question. It is simply, what is the main point of the passage? And believe me, if you read the passage, it is not going to take you more than 5 seconds to understand what the writer is trying to say. So don't worry about this question. It's just to show you what type of questions can be asked in the English section. Now, the second question is pretty factual. The study has been based on what? Somewhere at the end of the passage, there is a straightforward answer to this question. So believe me, if you have read the passage with enough attention, you will absolutely get it. The last line, it says, the main limitation of their work is that they looked at fruits eaten by people. The first line of the last passage literally says that the limitation of the work is that they looked at fruits eaten by people. So now if I take a look at the question, which asks, the study is based on what? It is simply based on the fruits that are consumed by humans. That's it. It is there in the passage. And one more question from this particular set. What is the meaning of arboreal and camouflage? Arboreal might seem like a word which requires you to have better understanding of vocabulary. But camouflage is such a common word, and we know camouflage means disguised, right? And if you read the passage, you will understand arboreal simply means tree dwelling. So this is a vocabulary based question. Even if you have not read the passage, but you are pretty confident with your command or vocabulary, you can simply score the mark for this question in absolute 10 seconds or less. There are other examinations like the UGAT, although not many colleges are now of worth are actually taking the UGAT score. You have the Christ University entrance test, which is followed by a micro presentation, which is nothing but an extempore speech on a specific topic which is given to you, and a personal interview. MET for Manipal is also followed by an interview. Symbiosis entrance test for the various campuses of Symbiosis is followed by a writing ability test, which is nothing but a simple essay, which you're expected to write in about 20 minutes on a prompt, which is given at the examination time, followed by a personal interview. Karnavati University has its own admission test, followed by a writing ability test, that is essay writing and a personal interview. And other institutions like St. Xavier's and KSOM have their own specific entrance exams. However, what is common to all these examinations is that they focus on 4 areas. Basic English, which would take care of reading comprehension, vocabulary and grammar, reasoning ability, GK and current affairs, and basic mathematics of standards 8th, 9th, and 10th. Because business management does require you to have some skills of communication as well, most of the business management schools would follow the written examination with either a writing ability test or a group discussion, and definitely a personal interview. So that is most of the information from my side. I would ask Mohit sir to continue this session and give you some information regarding what we do at IQ, post which we'll be taking your questions. For those who are interested in asking questions, you can type them in either the Zoom chat or the chat on YouTube Live. Over to you, Mohit sir.
Thank you so much, Satya sir. Before we get on to the question and answers, I would quickly like to introduce IQ Ideas. IQ Ideas is an organization based out of Ahmedabad. We have a 20 years of legacy. We have 2 divisions, one into counseling and second into entrance test preparation. Satya sir is the academic director at the entrance test preparation for IQ Ideas, where we train students for national level entrance exams related to law, business management, mass communication, liberal studies, economics, honors, hotel management, social sciences, and so on and so forth. We have the USP of IQ is that we take students through a proper counseling process. The faculties, as I already shared with you, Satya sir himself has been appearing for multiple entrance exams after 12th as well as after graduation across last 15 years. So if you want to prepare for any of the entrance exam, you can connect with my office at 99798-46007, or you can go to our website, that is iqideas.in. If you yourself or somebody next to you is confused, not really sure of what he or she wishes to do as far as career is concerned, you can connect with me for personal career counseling at 7600-888-111. You can follow me on social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Instagram at IQ Mohit, or you can go to my website, that is mohitmangal.com. To get access of this particular PowerPoint presentation, you can connect with me on WhatsApp group. The link is given on the screen. Also, I have posted the link in the chat box. I would request Satya sir to also put the list in the chat box of YouTube as well. And if you are wanting to connect with me on my YouTube channel, where I keep posting a lot of questions or a lot of sessions related to careers, you can connect with me at bit.ly/IQ Mohit. Thank you once again. And the forthcoming sessions, where we have today completed business management, tomorrow we shall be talking about other allied areas of management which could relate to hotel management, event management, sports management kind of programs. And day after, we'll be concluding the 11 session series by talking about areas like mass communication, media studies, filmmaking, and photography. So, if anybody wishes to attend any of these sessions, I would request you to register on the link given on your screen. And then, based on that, you can connect with us on Zoom or YouTube Live. Over to you for any questions. Satya sir, I do not have any questions on my dashboard. So if there are no questions, then we will close the session for the day. We'll keep coming up with more such sessions, and we'll keep posting the links on our YouTube as well as on our WhatsApp account, which where many of the participants have already joined us. If you also wish to join, please feel free, pick it up from the what you call chat box, and we'll be very happy to connect with you guys and keep you updated on the same. Right. Thank you so much once again, Satya sir. Thank you so much, all the participants. Take care.
Thank you, Mohit sir. It was indeed been a wonderful session, and I hope the participants and the audience today is benefited by it. Do keep following us on social media for more such sessions. And if you want to connect with us with any specific queries, the information on how to connect us has already been given. With that, I would like